guys, it's Mo Mustafa here, author, speaker and coach, and welcome to another edition of Motivated Muscle, where you learn the mindset techniques to help you burn stubborn body fat and add lean muscle. And in this video I want to share with you a very important idea that you can use to help you overcome procrastination when it comes to getting in shape, and basically stop you from self-sabotaging yourself and feeling a sense of overwhelm, if you like, and basically hold yourself back from achieving the kind of results that you're after. And basically the idea that I want to share with you guys is that of making sure that you embrace progress, not perfection. Okay? You want to commit to progress, not perfection, when it comes to getting in shape. We have to realize that whenever we're trying to get in shape, oftentimes our mind will be looking for the most perfect way to do something. So you might be thinking to yourself, what's the perfect way to work out? What's the perfect food to eat? What is the perfect time to eat? And the truth is, there is no perfect time, no perfect way. Okay? What I would recommend instead is that you basically look to embrace some way of working out, some way of eating, and then tweak and test as you go along. Okay, so rather than trying to find the perfect workout program or the perfect gym membership or the perfect whatever, instead just choose something and then start embracing that, do the work, and then as you go along you'll realize where there might be some sticking points and you can tweak and test as you go along. But ultimately, as you're doing that, you're continuously making more and more progress towards your destination. Okay, so I'll give an example now. So written the first draft of my book. I've got sort of I think it's about half of it here, and I'm just basically going through the process now. I've had it sort of proofread and stuff, and there's a lot of different different things here that have been highlighted. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, so there are lots of different ways to actually create the book. There's lots of different ways you can create an information product. Some people will record themselves and then have their audio recording transcribed. Other people will sit there, pen in hand, write the entire thing out from start to finish and then get that typed up. Personally, I like to use a mix of different approaches. One of them is to start with the basic outline and then basically start filling in the gaps from there. And I have my own little process that I use. And I use the same process to write my first book here, this is a different one. This is about marketing and stuff. But basically, as I did that, I will never know if there was a perfect way or what the perfect way was. For me, it was the way that worked, if that makes sense. So I just chose something, and the key thing for me was that I was making progress. Okay, so I was making progress every day towards that outcome of getting the book finished. And then I made more progress, once I had the first draft finished, about proofreading it, and you figure a lot of these things out as you're going along. Okay, it's important to remember that action itself is what creates the clarity, not overthinking things. Okay, and I realize this is something that applies to a lot of people. A lot of people will get very, they have paralysis by analysis, if you like. They're looking at something, they're looking at all the moving parts and they're getting overwhelmed, and then that causes them to freeze up and not take any action at all. Meanwhile, the other guy who's just saying, do you know what, let me just start with something, is already 6 months down the line or a year down the line or whatever, and the other person is still trying to figure out what the perfect program is, and they're not taking any action other than researching and looking at different ways of doing things. And ultimately, we have to move away from this perfectionistic mindset, okay? Especially when it comes to getting in shape. In fact, in any area of your life, because perfect is an unrealistic standard. Nobody can. I'm actually studying a good book at the moment called Now Habit. I've got it on my phone here. I'll just share the name with you guys. I really recommend you have a little listen to this. It's called The Now Habit by Neil. There you go, Neil Fiore, PhD. Anyway, and he talks a lot about this, this idea of procrastination and stuff, and they're saying that basically people that perfect, that none of us have a standard of perfection that we can ever reach that will put us outside of criticism from other people. So it doesn't matter how good you think you can ever get to in any area, in any sport, in any area of life. Oftentimes the reason we don't pursue that is because we're worried that somebody might criticize us, somebody might think, somebody might reject our work or whatever. And because of that fear of rejection, we don't then put anything out there. We don't take any effort. We don't take any action. But the truth is, it doesn't matter how good you are, you'll never get that point where you'll be so good that you won't have your critics. Okay, so just accept that critics and that, that rejection is part of the whole equation, that whether you're going to join a gym and you're worried about what others might be thinking about you, don't worry, you can't control that. Just do your workout, just do your training. If you want to go running in the streets or whatever, you want to go jogging or whatever, you may be worried that people are going to be looking at you and whatever they might be thinking. Maybe you're overweight and stuff, and you're worried that they're thinking things about you or whatever, and that's putting you off. Okay, and you're looking for the perfect place or the perfect time to train when nobody's going to be watching or there's no one going to be around and all this stuff. But you're living very much in a reactive state then, because you're not then able to take control of your life. And ultimately, if you want to get in shape, you have to be willing to say, do you know what, I'm going to do the things I need to do even when I don't feel quite ready. I can just leave you on a final little example here. After I did my initial cut, a fat loss cut last year, I lost a load of weight, and then I was ready to start lifting heavier weights and putting on size and stuff. And one of the things, the conclusions I came to was to basically start doing some Olympic lifting. Okay, and I'd never really done Olympic lifts before, the cleanest snatch and hang cleans and all these different types of moves, which I didn't even know anything about before. So anyway, I signed up for this Olympic lifting training as part of the gym. And it was, when I first went into it, I was the newbie. It was a little bit intimidating because I was like, didn't necessarily know anyone, didn't know any of the moves. Everyone else seems to be really good at what they're doing. And I just felt like a fish out of water, so to speak. But because of this mindset to commit to progress, not perfection, over time, I was getting better and better. I was trying out the different moves and stuff, and I was learning as I was going along. I was given, I was picking the minds of the different guys who were training, and they, in all fairness, they were really great. They were really supportive and stuff, and I was getting lots of great ideas as I was going along. And ultimately, that is what got me to the point then where I was able to make really great breakthrough over the months as I was doing the training. My strength was coming on over time, and I talk a lot about these different processes and these different mindsets in my book, so you can check that out in more detail when it's released. But basically, the key thing is here, this key idea I want to share with you guys is, remember that you want to commit to progress, not perfection. Okay, so to drop this whole idea of perfectionism, and this applies to any area of life, in business, in anything at all. But basically, drop the idea of perfectionistic mindset, and then just create something. Take action, put the effort in, and then figure things out. You'll be able to tweak and test things as they go along. Remember, there's no perfect way of doing things. You just need to start taking some action. So if you've been, sat on the fence for long enough now, and you'll be thinking, oh, should I start training again or whatever, don't expect for there to be some magic moment or something to arrive where you finally, something just happens and then the perfect workout comes to you, because it's not going to happen. Okay, you need to embrace something. Pick a route. Okay, pick anything. Just choose something. Whether you want to start doing weightlifting, whether you want to start going running, whether you want to go swimming, whatever, or join a basketball team, do some martial arts, whatever you want to do. You just need to choose something. And then as you go into the process, the action, like I said, will start creating the clarity, and you will improve your skills, and your results ultimately will then be a byproduct of your skills improving your ability to create those results. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Got any questions, comments, leave them below. And if you want to find out when my book's released, I recommend you visit my website at motivatedmuscle.com/newsletter. Just jump on my newsletter. There's plenty of free training videos and blog posts you'll be able to access from there. And then as soon as the book's released, that's going to be one of the first place I notify people. And anyone who's on my newsletter will also get access to some really cool bonuses, high value bonuses, basically, as part of getting a copy of the book. So I recommend, if you really want to get access to those bonuses as well, jump on my newsletter as well, so you get even more value than what's already in the book as well. So I will speak to you guys soon. All the best. Take care.